The night was very quiet in the small human village. The stars shone brightly in the clear sky, and a soft wind moved through the trees. The human, named Jack, sat alone in his small house, reading by the light of an old lamp. He liked the peace and calm after a long day of work on his farm. Suddenly, a sharp sound broke the silence, a slow knock on his front door. Jack looked up, surprised to hear a visitor so late at night. He stood up and walked quietly to the door. Wondering who could come at this time, he opened the door slowly and saw a woman standing there. She was not like any human Jack had ever seen. Her skin was pale blue, and her eyes were large and shiny like stars. She wore a long cloak that covered most of her body, and she held two small children close to her side. The woman looked tired and scared, her eyes full of pain. She spoke softly. "Please, I need your help. I have nowhere else to go." Jack felt a strange mix of fear and pity, but he did not close the door. He asked, "Who are you? Why are you here?" "My name is Lyra," she said. "I am a widow now. My husband is gone, and my children need a father." Jack was confused. He did not understand her words fully, but he saw the worry in her face. The two children looked up at him with big, innocent eyes. Jack could feel their fear and hope, and something in his heart told him to help them. Lyra continued, "We come from a far place, a world full of danger. Our enemies hunted us, and I fled here to keep my children safe." Jack looked at the children again, and then at Lyra. He knew. He was a simple man, but he also knew that sometimes kindness is the strongest thing a person can give. Jack said slowly, "Come inside then. You can stay for the night." Lyra smiled a little, relief showing in her eyes. She stepped inside, holding her children close, and Jack closed the door behind them. Inside the small house, the fire was low but warm. Jack brought some water and food for Lyra and the children. They sat near the fire, the children looking around with curiosity and a little fear. Jack watched them carefully, wondering what kind of life they had come from. Lyra told him a little about her world, but she was careful not to share too much. She said, "There was a great war in my home world, and my family was caught in it. My husband was a strong leader, but he died protecting us." Jack listened quietly, feeling a deep sadness for her. He wanted to ask more questions, but he also knew that trust must grow slowly. Outside, the wind began to pick up, and the night grew colder. Jack looked out the window and thought about the danger Lyra spoke of. Was it really coming here, to his peaceful village? He did not know, but he felt a new fear rising inside him, not just for himself, but for these strangers he had let in. As the night went on, Jack tried to sleep, but his mind was full of questions. Who were these people? What enemies chased them? And most of all, could he protect them from the dangers that might come knocking next? In the quiet darkness, a soft sound came again from outside. Jack's heart beat faster as he stood and looked toward the door. The story was just beginning, and nothing would ever be the same again. Days passed since Lyra and her children came to Jack's home. Jack watched them carefully, learning more about their strange ways. The children were quiet but clever, their eyes always watching everything around them. Lyra stayed close to Jack, but never spoke much about her past. One evening, Jack noticed a small, glowing device hidden under Lyra's cloak. It pulsed softly with a blue light, like a tiny star. Curious, Jack asked, "What is this?" Lyra looked startled, but then said quietly, "It's a memory keeper, something from my world." She told Jack it held pieces of her past, memories of her family and her lost home. But the memories were painful, full of danger and sorrow. She said, "I cannot forget, but I must keep going for my children's sake." Jack wanted to help, but he did not know how. He was just a simple man with no knowledge of other worlds or alien wars. Still, every night he kept watch by the door, worried that enemies might find them here. One night, as the wind howled outside, Jack heard soft footsteps near his window. He looked out but saw nothing but shadows moving quickly between the trees. His heart raced, and he whispered, "They are here." Lyra held her children close and looked at Jack with eyes full of fear and determination. "We must be ready," she said. "They come for the memory keeper, for the secret it holds." Jack realized this was no ordinary danger. The past was catching up with them, and it was closer than he thought. Together, they prepared their small home, using whatever tools and traps Jack had. Lyra showed strange gestures and whispered words. That made the air around them change. Jack could feel a power inside her, something strong and alive. As the night deepened, the shadows grew bolder. The hunters were coming, and Jack had to face the unknown to protect his new family. But deep inside, a quiet hope grew, maybe, just maybe. Together they could fight and survive. The morning sun barely touched the horizon when Jack woke to a strange feeling. Something was wrong. He could sense eyes watching from the dark woods near his home. He quietly moved to the window and peered out. Between the trees, shadows shifted like ghosts. Slipping quickly and carefully, Jack's heart pounded. But he did not want to wake Lyra and the children just yet. He grabbed an old hunting rifle and stepped outside, the cold air sharp on his face. He scanned the woods slowly, trying to find the watchers. Suddenly, a faint rustle broke the silence. A figure darted between the trees, fast and silent. Jack raised his rifle and called out, "Show yourself." No answer came, only the soft crack of branches underfoot. He fired a warning shot into the sky, hoping to scare the intruders away. Back inside, Lyra held her children tightly, whispering calming words in her strange tongue. Her eyes shone with worry and a fierce protectiveness. She told Jack, "They are scouts. They come before the hunters." Jack frowned, trying to understand. He asked, "Why do they want you? What is so important?" Lyra's voice grew cold. "Because I carry a secret that can change the fate of many worlds." She looked at the children and added, "And they want to take it from me at any cost." Jack's mind raced, realizing the danger was far greater than he thought. He promised silently to defend them with everything he had. That night, the forest grew silent again, but Jack could feel the tension in the air. They were not alone, and the silent threat was closing in. Days passed, and the quiet tension between Jack and Lyra slowly changed. They spent more time talking and learning about each other's worlds. Jack showed Lyra his small farm and simple tools. Lyra shared stories of her people, their struggles, and her lost home. Slowly, a bond grew between them, not just of need, but of trust and hope. The children laughed more, calling Jack father in their soft alien language. Jack smiled, feeling a warmth he had not known before. One evening, Lyra revealed something surprising. She showed Jack her true form beneath the cloak. A light glow surrounded her skin. She had powers beyond what Jack understood, powers to heal and protect. Jack was amazed but not afraid. He reached out and took her hand. "I will protect you and your children," he said simply. Lyra's eyes shone with gratitude and something deeper, love beginning to grow. But outside their home, the danger was not gone. Hunters were gathering, preparing for a final move. The peaceful days were ending, and Jack knew they must be ready. Together, they stood, two worlds joined by trust, facing an uncertain future. The quiet village was shaken by sudden noises in the night. Dark figures moved quickly through the trees, closing in on Jack's home. Jack woke with a start, heart pounding, and quickly roused Lyra and the children. They had no time to waste. Danger was at their doorstep outside. The hunters attacked with strange weapons that glowed cold blue. Jack grabbed his rifle and fired back, his hand steady despite the fear. Lyra called upon her alien powers, light swirling around her fingers. Together, they fought side by side, a fierce team against the shadowy threat. The children hid safely inside, their small voices whispering prayers for safety. Jack felt a fierce protectiveness grow inside him. He would not let harm come to this new family. The battle was fierce and long. Jack and Lyra's strength surprised the hunters, and soon, the attackers began to retreat. But Jack knew this was only the beginning. Their enemies would come again. stronger and more determined. As dawn broke, Jack looked at Lyra and the children. "We survived the night," he said, "but we must be ready for whatever comes next." Lyra nodded, her eyes fierce with determination. "We fight not just for survival, but for a future together," she said. After the battle, the village slowly returned to quiet. Jack, Lyra, and the children began to build a new life together. They shared small moments of peace, laughing, eating, and dreaming of better days. Lyra taught Jack about her alien world. He showed her how to farm and use human tools. The children learned to speak both their languages, bridging two very different worlds. But even in these calm days, the shadow of danger remained. Lyra often looked to the stars, worried the hunters would come again. One evening, she took Jack's hand and said, "Our fight is not over." Jack squeezed her hand, feeling the weight of the promise. Together, they prepared for what the future held, stronger because they were a family now. Their love grew quietly, healing old wounds and building hope. And though the night still held secrets, Jack knew he would face them with Lyra by his side. The children smiled, their laughter alight. In the darkness, for the first time, Jack truly felt what it meant to be a father. The sky was painted with the first light of dawn as Jack, Lyra, and the children stood together. Their faces were tired but hopeful. After all they had faced, they were still united and strong. Lyra held the secret device close. She whispered, "This is more than just a tool, it is a chance for peace between our worlds." Jack looked at her with determination. "We will protect this chance, no matter the cost," he said. Suddenly, a strange light appeared far across the horizon. A large ship, unknown and silent, moved closer toward their home. The children held their parents' hands tightly, eyes wide with both fear and wonder. Jack stepped forward, ready to face whatever came. Lyra stood beside him, her powers glowing. Softly, together, they prepared for the next chapter of their story. Though the future was uncertain, one thing was clear: they were a family bound by love and courage. And whatever challenges awaited, they would face them as one. The dawn of tomorrow was here, and with it came hope.